Have you ever found yourself in a conversation where you felt an overwhelming need to state a simple, undeniable fact, yet hesitated because you knew the reaction would be anything but simple? A narcissist is someone characterized by grandiosity, a constant need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. They construct a reality around themselves built on perceived perfection. The question we explore today is, what truly happens when you hold up a mirror and force a narcissist to see the unvarnished truth about themselves? The answer is rarely straightforward and almost never calm. When you present a narcissist with a truth that contradicts their self-image, you are not merely offering feedback. You are launching an attack on the very core of their identity. Imagine their self-perception as an elaborate sculpture they have spent their life perfecting. This sculpture represents their ideal self, powerful, admired, flawless. When you point out their selfishness or a mistake, you are not pointing out a minor crack. In their eyes, you are taking a sledgehammer to their masterpiece. Their response is about the perceived desecration of their entire creation. They will work to discredit your truth and restore their perfect image. This sets the stage for volatile, painful interaction. At the heart of a narcissist's inability to accept the truth lies an incredibly fragile ego. That outward confidence is a thin, brittle shell, a facade protecting a deeply insecure core. Their inflated self isn't genuine self-esteem. It is compensatory. It masks feelings of inadequacy, shame, worthlessness. So their self-worth depends on external validation. Any criticism, even gentle, feels catastrophic to them. It pierces their grandiose armor and strikes the insecurity they're desperate to hide. Think of their ego as an overinflated balloon. It looks impressive, but a pinprick will make it burst violently. Your well-intentioned feedback is that pinprick. A healthy person can absorb it and reflect. A narcissist has no resilience. Their persona may collapse. Criticism threatens to deflate their entire persona, leaving them exposed to shame they avoid at all costs. This is why they cannot handle the truth about themselves. Their mind immediately goes into a state of emergency. Defense mechanisms kick into high gear, not to correct the truth, to annihilate it. They don't prove accuracy. They rebuild the fragile sculpture, all to preserve their psychological stability. So a tiny correction can trigger disproportionate rage. When the narcissist's fragile ego is pierced by truth, the ensuing reaction can be destructive. The immediate response is often narcissistic rage. This is not simple anger. It is explosive, overwhelming fury. It punishes you and diverts attention from the truth. They will insult, dredge up past mistakes, and reframe you as the villain. A chilling example illustrates this. Imagine a man berating his partner, calling her worthless.
She calmly replies, "I may be what you say, but at least I'm not broke with no job and no car."
The moment that truth is spoken, his demeanor shifts. He erupts, sometimes becoming physically violent. He loses control because his inadequacy is unbearable. This is how their perceived reality shatters when faced with an undeniable fact. But retribution is not always loud. Sometimes the most potent weapon is silence. Unread messages, seen, but no reply. An active punishment. Stonewalling, ghosting, refusing to engage, silent rage. It leaves you anxious, desperate to regain their favor. Often the goal is to make you apologize for telling the truth, or to control the narrative, reframe themselves as victim. They must invalidate your truth and reestablish superiority. Their methods are calculated to punish and silence you, all to keep their fragile world unshattered, so you learn never to confront them with reality again. A logical person might assume the truth would prompt change. If they know they're not a good parent, why not try to become one? But that rational thinking does not apply to the narcissistic mindset. For them, the problem is not their behavior, it is your audacity in pointing it out. They feel no need to change because they believe they are already perfect. Any contrary evidence is an error in your perception. They double down on fantasy rather than do the painful work of change. It is easier to attack the messenger than admit fault. Changing would mean dismantling a persona they've spent a lifetime constructing. So instead, they reinforce the belief they are superior. Anyone who disagrees is simply wrong, jealous, or out to hurt them. This is why praise and flattery are so effective. You feed their delusion, you stroke their ego, you provide the external validation they crave. It can be used to manipulate them, but it's a dangerous game. Helping them build their fantasy higher makes the eventual fall devastating. You are not fostering change. you are propping up a facade. Ultimately, they feel no compulsion to treat you better because they think they have already won. In long-term relationships, your presence is proof their behavior is acceptable. Why put in more effort once they've bagged you? Good behavior was a tool for acquisition, not a standard to maintain. The truth does not inspire change because, to them, truth is what they decide it is. They double down, dismiss, and move on. So change rarely follows exposure to the truth. Confronting a narcissist with the truth is perilous. Safety first. Assess the potential consequences realistically. If there's any risk to your physical safety, do not confront directly. Create distance. Seek trusted friends, family, and professionals. Let professionals help you plan and stay safe. If needed, call for help and prioritize your well-being. Manage expectations. Do not go in hoping to change them. An apology or moment of clarity is exceedingly rare. Expect defensive reaction, rage, denial, blame shifting, or silence. Speak to honor your truth and set a boundary, not to change them.
State your truth calmly, concisely, without expectation. Use brief prepared notes. I feel hurt when you do this.
Afterwards, prioritize your emotional well-being. You will likely feel drained. You may feel invalidated and confused by gaslighting. This is the time for self-care. Bath, walk, meditative breathing. Reconnect with people who validate your experience. Journaling helps process and reaffirm your reality. Use affirmations to counteract gaslighting. Their reaction reflects their fragility, not your worth. Remind yourself, protect your peace and sanity. Lean on a strong support system to counteract emotional fallout. Sometimes the most powerful truth is the one that tells you to walk away. Protect your peace, protect your sanity, protect your safety. Walking away is not weakness, it is self-preservation.